Hey, what is up? Welcome back to ArchiHacks, and today we have another very exciting tutorial. So today we're gonna showcase our new plugin called Random Transform. So you can download this for free from our Gumroad website. It's gonna be linked in the description below. And this plugin adds a couple commands to your Rhino interface. First, it is Random Move, which allows you to transform objects in a random direction, and Random Rotate, which allows you to rotate your object in random direction. And once you download it, you'll be introduced to this RHI file, which you can simply double click and install, follow the instructions, and that's it. And now if you open up the Rhino immediately, it may not be available, but you just make sure to restart it. Even after you have downloaded and restarted, if you don't see any of the commands up here, try running edit Python script, and then you may or may not have anything on here, and then just close it immediately. I found that it works right after doing that, so try doing that as a troubleshoot. If not, please get in touch at our Reddit or social media. So to demonstrate, I'll quickly create a set of objects here that we can iterate over. So I'll simply create a box here, which is just 1 by 1 by 1 cube. And I'll create a quick array, 4 by 4. Now, once you start using the random move command, for example, you'll be asked to select 2 points, just like a regular move command. Once you select the 2 points, say I'll go diagonally, you'll see that it kind of interpolates between the distance that you're given and then gives you a random alternatives of the two values that you've given. So the objects are now scattered kind of randomly. It's kind of like a drunken version of move. And similar goes for rotate, except random rotate doesn't take any variables. You simply rotate it in the given axes that you're looking at right now. So it just did it in z axes, but if we go to the front and do it, it should probably rotate it in the view that you've selected. So now the cubes are in pretty interesting position, and you can kind of imagine this being like a quick study for concept or some kind of diagram as well. So this allows you to kind of tap into the realms that you probably normally would not have gotten into had you like try creating this random look manually. Sometimes we end up repeating same actions over and over, but utilizing these two commands, you can create truly random and chaotic designs. So as an example, I'm going to open up this park example. So in this example, I'll show you how this can be used as a design tool. So here, I've quickly set up a kind of a regular city block with a park in the middle, kind of like a Central Park in New York. But right now, the buildings look a little bit too homogeneous. So I'm going to select them all by going onto the side and then apply the random move. And I'll simply move them vertically from top to bottom by, like, say, a factor of like half of the building. And what this will do is it'll iterate through every single cube in the scene and transform them randomly in the distance that you've given. Just like that, you've created this very organic looking city that literally does not repeat and has a perfectly random appearance. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the plan and utilize random as a design tool. I kind of want to, so maybe for a design, we have to subdivide this park area and create paths or strips of land. And I wanted to create this like random look. But instead of like kind of cutting it myself, what I could do is to create a couple lines, say 10 lines in a row, just like that. And then again, I'll use the random move command to offset them a little bit. So I'll choose random move, and then let's say I'll move it by this much distance. Now as you can see, the distance between the lines are completely randomized. And if you don't like the result, you can always do it again and again until you get the result that you want. So I think this is looking pretty good. Maybe I'll just add a couple more lines over there. And maybe just that. and then I'll use that to split the plane. And now maybe I'll select every other strips of plane, and then change their layer into, let's say, a paving. Alright. So now we've created this parkland with these strips of land, and maybe we want to go ahead and put some plants on it. So what we can do, actually maybe I'm going to go ahead and invert this. So maybe the paving area can be the green area, and then maybe this area can just be the paving. And perhaps I'll just do the same thing here. Maybe I'll create a diagonal path this way to kind of connect the city block again. Okay, and then I'm gonna split everything with this diagonal line. And once that's done, I'm just gonna simply join all these diagonal lines together so it becomes a contiguous path. And now I can select the default layer. I'll join, merge all faces. Alright, now that's a single surface. Now here's our park design, let's say, and we want to populate this green area with plants. And we've recently introduced a new product called low poly trees, kind of similar to our low poly people, except these are a tree version, so that you can quickly populate your model without straining your computer or your model. So for this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of array them as well. I'm gonna make, let's say, 4x2 grid, and then scatter them like so. And then once that's done, I'll use random move again to kind of scatter them around randomly. As you can see, really quickly you get this like extremely organic appearance. And the objects are, now that the objects are scattered, I'm gonna make another duplicate by going 180, Alt, and hitting 180. And then once that's done, I'm just gonna go ahead and actually let's do it once more. I'm gonna maybe flip it this time with -1 amount, and then use random move to move it over just a little bit. To add additional randomness. Okay, so we've created this kind of organic looking forest already, but now we just want to make sure that the trees only grow in the green area. So in order to do so, I'm just going to select the plane here, and then duplicate border, or dupe border, and then I will take the curve as well as the trees, and then go into isolation mode. So I'll type in isolate. And then, well, one handy command that we can use here is called cell boundary. What this allows you to do is select objects that are encapsulated in an enclosed curve. So for example, I'm going to use the path here to select all the trees that are in the path and delete them afterwards. So I'll choose cell boundary. And then for our selection mode, we'll just try using window first, and then as you can see, all the trees that are currently kind of within the path has been selected, but not entirely, because this tree is actually hanging over, so it didn't select that one. So we'll try another mode, which is called crossing, which is kind of like using the dotted window in Rhino select. So instead of like going left to right, which only selects the objects that are completely within the selection, crossing allows you to select all the objects that the box crosses. And this is applied the same way here. So we'll choose cell boundary, selection mode will be crossing, and then we'll choose the curve. Now that selects a lot more trees, and then once we hit delete, all the trees that are in the path are cleanly erased. So now we can unisolate from our previous selection, and we're back in the scene with trees that are only within the green area So combination of random movement as well as a couple selection techniques can give you an amazing result within just a couple minutes. So we'll check out another example here. So there can be an apartment project which has, let's say, 50 floors, and all these panels are slidable panels. It can be quite difficult to actually randomize these manually, especially when the building's like on an angle or on a curvature. So what we can do instead is to simply create an identical like array here, and then array that all the way up. And once that is done, we can go ahead and select coplanar planes from plan, and then use random move again. And then let's slide them over just a little bit horizontally. And our plugin will go ahead and move them around one by one, just a little bit. You get this extremely organic appearance with like no visible repetition, even though we've only used, say, like 2 clicks to get here. And we can apply the same thing here. And another example that this can be useful is where we are populating a building. So let's say we're going to import some people. Alright, here's our existing 3D people pack. So I'm gonna go ahead and select a couple of these. I'm gonna take the blocked proxies in order to minimize our file size and computing power. And I'll go in plan and place them in the building. Let's put some over here. As you can imagine, it can be quite difficult to populate each and every floor with different arrangement of people. So what we could do instead is I'll select all these people and then lock all the objects around it, is to just array them. So this building is 50 floors high, so I'll array 49 times. And then spacing will be 3 meters. Okay. So right now, all the people are placed in identical places. Let me just hide the facade so we can see the people more quickly. But now what we could do is select them all and type in random move. Actually, let's do it in 2 axes. We'll move these guys along this axis. And that's done. Now we can do the same thing with these people right here. We'll random move and then go in horizontal direction. Within just a few moments, all the people will be offsetted with a random amount. As you can see, like there's literally people in every position possible. And in 3D, like there is no recognizable pattern in these people. These people seem like they're in their natural like routine and wherever they want to be. Alright, we type in the random rotate and hit enter. The people are also in different orientation now. Okay, so if you want to get these 3D people, you can check out our Gumroad as well. And last but not least, I have one more example where we can use this in a 2D context as well. So what's really great about the 3D people is that you can actually make 2D and turn them into this flawless 2D people. And every rotation also generates like different position and like different line work. So it seems like just out of these 10 people, you can actually make numerous iterations. So in this example, let's say we have to populate this huge mall and you only have like a couple of minutes to do it. What you can actually do is to use a similar technique where we array our objects first. So let's say make 4 of these, and then maybe there are like 6 floors, and then we don't need any Z, so we'll do that. Seems like there were a few more floors, so I'll just copy and paste them over. And now we can select all the people and type in random move. And you can kind of watch the Rhino do all the work. And as you can see, and now already we can have a pretty organic looking crowd. You can always use the command of one or a few more times in order to create like even greater randomness. And then we'll simply delete some of the people that are outlying a little bit. And there we go. We have a completely random looking. It seems almost as if we worked really hard to make this happen, but that actually took just a few steps to do it. That's about it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Always great to be here. I'll see you guys next time. ArchiHacks is dedicated to making your architecture life easier and more productive. Like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Spend less time working, more time designing with ArchiHacks.